No phone, no fire already lit, no roof, no one coming to save you. Just you, a forest, and a body that has never once had to actually fight for its next meal. Before you answer yes, obviously, I want you to actually sit with this question for the next few minutes because by the end of this video, you're going to realize survival wasn't about being strong. It was about a set of skills almost nobody alive today actually has. Let's start with the single most basic requirement for staying alive overnight. Fire. No lighter, no matches, just two sticks, some dry grass, and time. Making fire by friction takes real, practice technique. The exact angle, the exact pressure, the exact rhythm. Anthropologists who've actually tried it report it can take 20 to 40 minutes of continuous, exhausting effort, even when you already know what you're doing. Now imagine doing it for the very first time, in the dark with your hands already shaking from cold. Without fire, you don't just lose warmth, you lose protection from predators, the ability to purify water, and the ability to cook food that your body actually needs cooked to digest safely. Early humans didn't just figure this out. It took our ancestors hundreds of thousands of years to reliably control fire at all. So here's the first real question. If you were dropped into that forest tonight with zero prior practice, do you actually think you'd have fire before sunrise? Let's say you survive the first night. Now you need to eat. Modern humans have almost no practiced ability to identify what's safe to eat in the wild. Ancient humans carry generations of passed down knowledge. Which plants heal you? Which ones stop your heart? Which berries look identical but aren't? Get it wrong, and there's no hospital, no poison control hotline, just you alone, finding out the hard way. Hunting is even less realistic for most people today. Early humans didn't outrun prey. They used something called persistence hunting, tracking an animal for hours, sometimes an entire day, until it physically collapsed from exhaustion, because humans are actually one of the best long-distance runners in the entire animal kingdom. That takes tracking skill most people today have literally never practiced once in their life. Reading footprints, broken branches, disturbed dirt, wind direction. If you're starting to realize how much you'd actually be relying on instinct instead of real skill, subscribe now because it gets a lot harder from here. Here's what almost nobody thinks about. It's not just hunger and cold. It's everything else all at once, constantly. Infection was one of the leading causes of death for early humans. A small cut, untreated, could kill you within days. No antibiotics, no stitches. Just whatever plants your ancestors had learned, through trial and often fatal error, could help a wound close. Then there's exposure. Modern humans regulate temperature almost entirely with clothing and shelter we don't have to build ourselves. Ancient humans had to construct shelter from scratch, every single time they moved, using nothing but branches, hides, and instinct for what would actually hold up against wind and rain. And then there's the part almost nobody survives thinking about. You'd be doing all of this completely alone. Early humans didn't survive as individuals. They survived in tightly bonded groups, sharing food, splitting labor, taking turns on watch through the night. A lone human in the wild, historically, had dramatically lower odds of survival than one inside a group, which raises the real question this video has actually been building toward. Here's the twist. This isn't really a video about whether you personally could survive. It's about what modern life has quietly taken away from you. Every skill we just talked about, fire, tracking, plant knowledge, wound care, shelter building, group cooperation, used to be baseline human knowledge. Passed down, practiced constantly, not special, just required. Today, none of it is required anymore. And that's not a personal failure. It's the literal result of civilization doing exactly what it was built to do, removing the need for any one person to know how to survive alone. Which means the honest answer to, could you survive as a caveman, isn't really about you at all. It's proof of just how much invisible infrastructure is standing between you and the exact same forest your ancestors lived in for hundreds of thousands of years. So could you have survived as a caveman? Probably not, and honestly, neither could most people watching this. Not because you're weak, because survival used to be a full-time inherited skill set, and modern life quietly retired it generations ago. If this made you appreciate your electricity bill a little more, hit subscribe, because next we're going back to test something even harder, whether ancient humans were actually loyal to one partner, or whether that's a modern invention too. You're not going to expect the answer.